Hello everyone. This is going to be a video of my misadventures trying to get back to the carrier after a bad mission in the F-18C. So in this first case, I just did a bomb drop on this airfield. I was supposed to destroy some helos on the ground parked on the ramp, and I completely missed my target. So I figured, oh, what the heck, I'm just going to do a quick gun run, take them out with my gun, and what I did forget is this. I got a whole bunch of bullets right in my face. I had no idea what's going on. I just lost control, and I figured my initial thinking was, I'm hit, I have some loss of control, but I'm just gonna keep shooting and flying straight, and then I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll go in and take them out that way. But at this point, I was debating whether to jump or not. But then I figured I kind of have control, so I wonder if I can trim it out or do something. And I had no idea what's going to happen. I just wanted to get a little further away from the airfield, so I'm making this wide turn while trying to trim and set up the plane in some kind of a flying condition. I still have no idea, how badly I've been hit. Just looking around, looking for tracers coming my way again. And of course thinking how stupid I was to do this. At any rate, I'm kind of giving it a wide berth. I'm going around. And at this point the plane is sort of flyable. And it's I'm giving it full right rudder and trying to keep it in the air, and then I look back and I see that my wing is missing. My left wing has been completely shredded. It's gone, and of course all the fuel that was in it was gone. But I figured, as long as I can keep flying, I'll get closer to the carrier, see what happens. If I can set it up, maybe I'll be able to land. Who knows? So I'm just gonna speed through this next section. It was maybe another 10-15 minutes of flying, trying to keep the thing in the air. As you can see, it's constantly dumping its wings left and right. Part of it is me overreacting, but I got it in a somewhat flyable state, and I'm kind of freaked out. I wasn't sure if I'll even be able to get close to the carrier. I'm not sure what my fuel state is. I'm just trying to keep this thing in the air. I'm just showing the whole flight. And now I'm getting closer and closer to the carrier. I'm indicating that I'm inbound, except I'm missing a wing. Almost there. Okay, so now we're close to the carrier. You can kind of see it off in the distance. It's about 8 or 9 miles ahead. So I didn't want to get too close and then find out that I can't really fly this thing. So I wanted to test out. Here's the carrier right in front, where that 5 on the ladder is. So it's about 7 or 8 miles up in front of me. So I figured at this point, I'll try dropping the gear without putting flaps, because my wing is missing, so putting flaps is just going to make things worse. But I figured maybe if the gear works, I have a chance. So I put the gear down, and immediately I knew this was a mistake. The plane just rolled, and then from that point on, it was just a matter of seconds before I went in. So I just punched out. So no, you cannot land with a missing wing on the carrier. I learned that the hard way. So here I am floating down, hoping I'd get rescued. Here's the second scenario. I'm coming back from a mission. I tangled with some fighters, and before you know, take a look at my fuel state. I'm about 7.5 miles from the carrier, and my fuel state is 790. And I don't know why they set up these missions this way. This is one of the standard ED missions for the F-18. But the tanker was actually orbiting at 20,000 on the other side of the carrier. I have no idea how it works in real life, but I would imagine you would put the tanker closer, so somewhere between the carrier and the returning flight, so that if you do run out of fuel, or you're getting close to running out of fuel, you have a chance to climb up to a reasonable altitude and get some fuel before you get to the carrier. As it is, I was so down on fuel that there was no chance. It was easier to just bring it to the carrier. I had a better chance of bringing it to the carrier than trying to hunt around for the tanker, wherever it is. So I figured I'd roll the dice and see what happens. And my wingman is flying by my side. I just told him to go home. Hopefully he'll let me land first. Or he'll land and then I'll make it. So I'm trimming up, and at this point I know I don't have a lot of fuel, so it was actually kind of a mistake. I dropped my gear a little too early. I should have waited another couple of miles. I'm about maybe 6 miles out, and normally at this point I'll be dropping the hook and flying a pattern, but I knew that I'm not going to be able to fly a pattern in this case. I just figured I'd fly straight in. So I'm just hoping I have enough fuel to make it to the carrier. Again, I should have probably waited another couple of miles until I got to about maybe 2-3 miles from the carrier before dropping the gear and the flaps. But bit as it may, I'm kind of lined up and trimmed up, and I'm gonna bring it straight in. So let's see what happens. Alright, we're lined up. Everything looks good. I think I took a quick look at the fuel indicator. I'm not sure what it was reading at this point, but I kind of kept an eye on it. This is in VR, so it's whatever the VR is recording, but I did keep an eye on my fuel status. So here's a carrier, and I'm lined up pretty good. This is gonna be one of those good landings. Cutting it close, but I should have enough to make it to the carrier. Of course, I have no idea where my wingman went. Hopefully he'll let me land. The AI usually just plops itself. It doesn't really care if you're on a final or not. It just gets in front of you, and it never runs out of fuel, of course. So good approach, right on the ball. I'm a little left, so I'm pulling a little to the right, and I'm gonna start lining up now. So far, so good. Now, the problem is that at this point, I'm kind of freaking out. I know that my fuel is pretty much gone. So I know this has to be like, there's just no going around. I gotta get this down. Notice that the carrier was not really turned into the wind. And of course, in the last second, I screwed up, and guess what? Bolter. So now I have to go around, and I don't have the first clue how much fuel I have. Probably 100 pounds or so, if that. And here's my wingman, who is on final. He's just getting aboard, and I can't really make an extended final, so I'm just gonna turn right in, forget about the ball, forget about everything. I'm just gonna try to plop this thing, and hopefully the wingman will be out of there by the time I get around. I'm pretty much at almost at zero now. There's just no fuel left in the tanks at all. And out of the corner of my eye, I see that my wingman is just pulling off the runway. And once again, the carrier is not really turned into the wind, so I kind of have to grab in at an angle, which makes it even more fun. So somehow I'm actually slightly above the ball, and I'm trying to grab it in, and I have no idea how much fuel. I know that it's probably close to zero, if not zero. So, not the greatest landing, but I'm down, and I actually managed to catch the 3-wire, and look at this. All my power is now gone. The fuel is gone, and all my power is gone. Literally, the moment the wheels touched the deck, that was it. There's no more fuel. Fuel is reading 0, and all my power is gone. Engines are out. Everything is out. You just don't cut any closer than that. I've never had a landing like this before. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.